Is it on? Yeah, it is. Hey, hi there. Anyway, um, I hate doing any kind of intros or anything, but also I feel awkward not doing any kind of intro. Uh, but anyway, now that we're past that and it's awkward, uh, so I just got done. Well, I'm not done, but my brain needs a break. Uh, I here about 2 days ago wrote a short story, and whenever I say a short story, I mean a short story. It's like 10 novel pages long, like 2,000 words, something like that. To describe just like a very minor detail of one of the things happening within the universe that I've been working on. And I realized whenever I went to go place it in the timeline that I was working on that it didn't fit properly. And whenever I say it didn't fit properly, like it fit, but I realized that I needed to actually finish working on the timeline. So I started working on the timeline and I realized a plot hole that I had. So I went to fix that and smooth that over, and by doing that, I completely upended the entire second part of what I'm working on. So I had to entirely redo. Well, I'm redoing the timeline up to that part, and honestly, I'm a lot happier with it now. I think it is way better now. Everything fits a lot better, and also I think it's just going to be overall more interesting. Um, because before, like, reading what all I had down, like, it was just kind of a, well, this happens, and it's just like, oh, well, now they have this object, and they're more powerful, and da 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 da, and I'm like, actually looking at them, I'm like, that's going to be so uninteresting to write and read. Um, but then also at the same time, in part two, I had, like, two different stories that, like, were supposed to come together and lead you into part three, but I realized just how that wasn't happening, right? Like it was because like how I had it, it was like forced to work, just kind of well because plot convenience, and I didn't like that at all, not even a little bit. So I started smoothing that over, and now like I have completely reworked both of the major playing like cities. Uh, I've reworked both of those cities, how they work, kind of where they came from, and just overhauled some of the people, like some of the main key players, along with how the actual like I'm gonna say like the peasants or what have you, whatever you want to call them, also completely reworked like how they work and how they're going to be involved in the narrative, kind of, and it's just my brain needs a little bit of a break now. Cause that was a lot, and I'm not even done. Like, I went and I've written more. Like, I had one sheet of paper completely like filled, and then I essentially threw that out, started writing another one, and once I got to the bottom of that sheet, I went, oh shit, I'm gonna need another sheet of paper. And also, you can see the sticky notes back there. So, the reason that like I'm really working on the timeline and everything is because I want to actually make like a physical thing and put it up on my wall, and that's what I started doing. So, like, what's up there right now is the top ones are like the key players, the most important people, and when they were born or whenever they became something else or what have you, just kind of them and important dates to them for me to remember. And then below them, you can see that second line that I started right there. That's all of the events that are supposed to happen on as few sticky notes as possible. And I was doing that with the green one, which is part two, whenever I realized that I needed to redo everything. So that's why there's not a second line up there yet. And then below that, I'm going to write one sticky note per thing that's happening. That way I can actually see everything out, like in an actual expansive space. I'm probably going to have to move them around because there is a lot of stuff going on. And also that way, I can actually see inconsistencies, and if there is an inconsistency, I could literally just write out a new sticky note, or, well, yeah, write out a new sticky note and replace it, or just place it on top of being like, oh, well, this happened, but that causes this issue. How do I fix this issue? Write a sticky note, and then put that right there with the other ones, whether it's on, like above them, on top of them, below them, whatever. So it's there, and it'll be easier to work on and visualize that way. And even just with the wee little bit that I've done so far, it's helped immensely as I've been working this entire time. Um, but also what I was working on is the short story that I have, I currently have it up on Royal Road. It's nothing super special, and I kind of just ended it very abruptly to like if you're reading it, you're like the last like three paragraphs are just kind of a here's what happens afterwards, just to kind of like tie up loose ends because I've heard people don't like not knowing what happens after the story essentially, so that's what they're just kind of there to do. But up until those, like that was the story and that was the entire purpose of the story, right? So I wasn't really too worried about it. I might go back through and dull it up so that those last three paragraphs are easier to read or what have you. I might do that, I don't know. But what I was thinking and wanting to do was actually like I've seen on YouTube where there's like short stories essentially narrated, whether it's by AI or by the people that wrote them or whatever. I've seen them up on YouTube, and it's just essentially a short story being read, right? And I kind of wanted to do that, try that out, see how it would go. One just to make it, just to see what it's like to make it. But the way I want to do it is I want to, like, a lot of them have artwork in the back that almost always is AI generated, but I don't want to AI generate the artwork for my stuff because that might make it seem kind of like how I think about those videos is it might make it seem like the short story itself was also AI generated, which it was not. Mind you, I worked on it only over like a day and a half, so it's not too in depth or too good anyway. But I would rather have actual artwork made by somebody in the background, kind of matching up to what's actually going on in the story, and then maybe also have like overlaying text like captioned as it's being read. And how something I'm still kind of deciding on whenever it comes to reading it is, if I'm going to do voices or if I'm just going to kind of read it uh, like I sound now, just read it normally, maybe try to do voices. Or a while back, I actually bought Voice Mod, so I have full access to that, or I might use that to do the voices. But there's such a war on AI now that I'm kind of hesitant to even use Voice Mod because it uses AI to manipulate your voice, right? Like it uses integrated AI to do its thing. So that's why I'm hesitant on using that now. Originally I was planning on using it for something else and I still might, but even then now because the war on AI is so strong because of all the resources that they're stealing, like off the computer, what you call it, hardware that is just gobbling up so that no one else can have any. Yeah, I'm kind of hesitant to use anything AI related now. Um, One because of the backlash. Like I was okay with using voice mod originally, but now I feel like the backlash is going to be it's going to be hell to deal with. So I just kind of don't want to. Um, I like whenever it comes to AI, I don't want to use it. Like I don't want to use it to write. I don't want to use it to generate ideas. My brain is literally hardwired to do that itself. I don't need help with that. But also with like any kind of image generation or anything like that. Whenever it comes to image generation, at one point in time, I was using AI, just originally dabbling in it, and I also wanted to do like a visual novel, and I was trying to use it for that. But then I realized, for me to get any like kind of quality pictures, it was taking me hours upon hours to get the image that I wanted. Like I think I ended up getting like 40 something images at one point in time that might have been usable with like, and I still had to go into Photoshop and doll them up to actually make them usable. And all around that, just the image generation, I think I spent like 80 hours generating those images. And at that point, it's just like, just learn how to draw, which is why I started learning how to draw, like to do art. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to the past couple days. Those are the ideas I currently have going forward. Um, I've still got to figure out how. Like, I am probably going to like read the short story and put it up on YouTube for other people to see, listen to, whatever. I might also post it in the description of this video. But all in all, I've just gotta work, right? This is just kind of me decompressing, throwing it all out there, just kind of into the void, just to get out of my head, and so that I can maybe relax a little bit before going to bed. But yeah, so that's all. That's all I got for this one, I guess. See ya.